All this meeting's ordered. 10 a.m. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Here.
Commissioner Buckley?
Here.
Commissioner Tate?
Here.
Notice when she's calling the roll, I go first. Did you notice that?
I'm usually last.
As you
Quorum
wish.
is present.
As you wish, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sir.
Dear Lord, be with us today as we go through this meeting. Do the best that we can for the county. Make the best decisions that we can. Dear Lord, go with us without this throughout the day with our families. Dear Lord, lead and guide those and help those that are sick and just be with them, please. I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Okay, the consent agenda is on the board and has been published. A motion, please.
I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. We need to reappoint Barb Shelton for our St. Francis County trustee is the official title. And this is the person that takes care of our property that didn't get sold on the tax sale, and quite a list of properties there. And she was appointed years ago and held the position well since then, but we couldn't find a record of that appointment. And just to make it official, this is decades ago apparently, we just want to make sure she's properly appointed, so we would like to do that. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we reappoint or make the appointment of the St. Francis County trustee Barb Shelton.
Second?
I'll second.
Questions? Yeah, Rich?
How long has she been in that position?
Pam?
Since Jim Freer left.
What was the answer?
Since Jim Freer left.
Oh,
That long?
Jim Freer.
Oh, Jim Freer, that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while, so, anyway, so I have, any other questions, comments? So I have motion second, all in favor of appointing or reappointing, how are you gonna do that? Barb Shelton for this position, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now Barb Shelton is officially our St. Francis County trustee. Permission to advertise for seal bids for cleaning services of Annex and Courthouse. Brian, do you want to say anything or just?
Well, we're basically, you want me to talk, Brian? Or?
That's fine.
Well, Brian's been working on basically the cleaning service in the annex and the courthouse, and we're going to bid the cleaning services out for these two buildings.
Just having trouble hiring good people to keep this job and do the job we want. So he's branching out, looking at different ways of doing that.
And this will basically allow Brian, I mean, he officially deals with that daily, so it'll maybe ease up a little bit on him where those Brian's crew works, you guys watch them work, they work constant around here, and it might help him out a little bit too, where he can go do about his job, and then this will be taken care of. That's why we're looking into it.
And he got a resignation this morning on one of the people that were working here. And so he and his crew are gonna have to kind of double up and take care of this until we get this process finished, and that's at least 3 weeks. So expect some issues coming up and try to be patient as this crew is already, I'll say, overworked. And so be patient and kind to them. Any questions, comments? Yeah, Rich?
How will we pay for the service? We had it in the budget for our people to do the work.
Okay.
How, will this be covered under that same part of the budget?
We were talking, Brian and I this morning, and I think you said you had 4 people, and 3 of them work a full 40 hours a week, and then 1 of them's a part-time. So let's say there's 100 hours per week for the crew he has now. Well, that will be reduced by at least 2, and so some of that money will go to these people. Now remember, these companies that contract this, they're gonna send in, I think you said 4 people, but they're gonna hit and miss. They're paid, the shorter they can be here and do the job well, then they're probably gonna be running when they do this work. So they'll probably bid, we hopefully a little bit within that realm of what we're paying these people now, we hope. We don't know yet.
And Rich, on that there too, judging when they come in based on a 35 and 40 hour week, Monday through Friday, probably once they come in, we'll kinda judge how they're doing to base that, you know, later on to see how good a job they're doing, or we can take that which way we want on that contract.
We hope they'll come in below what our costs are now, we don't know that, and we can always, what we'd have to do, wait till November to amend the budget, but we can run behind schedule on the budget until that time, so we can do that. Bob?
This does not include the Weber facility or
No,
the
just
jail?
these two buildings.
Is that, those are not an issue?
The supervisor here is going to Weber, and straighten me out when I'm wrong here, Brian. She's going to Weber and taking care of that one. Now, the other, you said the jail?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who does the jail?
That,
Linda takes care of the jail in Weber and comes here a couple hours.
Okay.
We do not clean all of Weber, we clean all of the jail office.
Yeah. Our renters basically take care of their part, and that's maybe a third of the building, something like that, just put some numbers.
We got 4 nice buildings and we'd like to keep them nice.
and then also Bob, at the jail, I've been out there, and she's done a really great job
Yeah,
at the jail.
she's the one that's staying, she's the supervisor,
So,
she's
so
staying.
we're not getting rid of all our cleaning
Yeah.
people, we are,
Yeah,
just
and I'll
getting
speak well
these two
publicly of
buildings.
Linda Hodges. Doing a
Okay,
great job.
okay.
What about juvenile?
Juvenile does,
They take care of their own?
they take care of their own.
Okay, so we're talking about these two buildings only?
These
Right.
2 buildings on.
For this process. Okay. Any, did I get a motion on this?
No.
Okay, motion.
I'll make a motion that we, give permission to advertise for sealed bids for cleaning service of the annex and the courthouse.
Second.
I'll second.
Any questions?
No questions, just a comment, commissioners, to answer Rich's question. The potential, and underline the word potential savings, what these bids could be, would be offset by the salaries, the benefits that we are currently offering to, if we had existing employees.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just the hourly pay, but the benefits we give them is kind of expensive too.
Depending on the potential bid.
Right. Any other comments or questions? All in favor of permission to advertise for sealed bids, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Permission to proceed with jail addition and be paid from ARPA fund. I put that on there about proceed, but just to make sure, that was in the minutes that we approved that, I think we had. But, just to make sure that that's, permission to proceed is done, and then is to be paid from ARPA funds. Motion?
Motion to, pay the jail additions out of the ARPA funds.
Second?
I'll second that.
Question? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Request to seek sealed bids for the HVAC system for this building. Colin's not here, but he was telling me earlier this week, last week, that, when this building was first designed, it was built in '06 and designed, I think, starting in '04. That the original design for this building included two floors and a full basement. Full basement. Well, during the process of design, it was decided this would have a walkout basement and the lower side on one side. So basically, it became a 3-story building. The HVAC bids were not changed to show that change. I just learned that some others, I think Brian had been told about this earlier, but he's been here a whole lot longer than I have. Ages and ages, yeah. But, it's just, that's part of the problem we've had all over this. But the bids that we've seen, or the early design of the project, shows that there will be new sheet metal installed, new diversions for the air, new filtration, so it'll be a massive change. So, do I have a motion to accept, give permission to accept sealed bids for this job?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve request to seek sealed bids for the Havoc renovation of the annex building.
And second?
I'll second that.
Question? Rich?
I hate to do this again.
No, you don't.
Where-
You're smiling, you don't need to.
Where will we find the funds for any of the work that's done here?
That will be, ARPA funds, and we will
Okay.
get the approval of that after we get the bids.
Might we have any estimate at this point?
I've got, and that dream job estimate that I put on, but that has nothing to do with this. So we're working on my estimates right now on this dream list.
Thank you.
This qualifies, Rich, under the ARPA funds for,
Disease control.
well, not disease control, but for airflow control for the safety of the employees and the general public.
Yeah.
Thank you, Louis.
Yeah, right now, the system is picking up air from this room that may be contaminated and shipping it to other rooms in the building. So we hope to divert that and solve that. That's part of the problem. So, and that's the basic feeling of why it should be ARPA funds. Okay, got the motion second, any other questions? Yeah, Bob?
Do we,
Okay.
what kind of time frame are we looking at to have this in place?
I don't have the CMAR in here, but, now the bids take 3 weeks.
Yeah, but the actual,
The work.
change in the.
Bob, it'll probably be next year before this is done.
Yeah, the money has to be approved in '04 and spent by the end of.
Yeah.
I think just
'24, and spent by the end of '26.
ordering the units is 40 weeks.
Wow.
And
Well,
there-
that's another
Yeah,
project.
and there will be some disruption in offices because they'll have to do some different stuff.
Means the people gonna be moved to the hallway.
Yeah, so just be patient, please.
Yeah, it's all for a good purpose. Okay, any other questions, comments? Motion second then, approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Qualified base selection of engineering firms for the juvenile detention center. Did you guys go through that list?
Yes,
We are
we
allowed
just-
to use our stack of books that all these RFQs we've gotten over the years. We saved those books and now we don't have to request those books. Of course, they can send in a new book if they wish. But, you know, we went through that stack individually and made a list. Who wants to read the list?
Well, we just went through a list, we just discussed that it'd be Taylor, Brockmiller, Cochran, and SSC. And what we did, we ranked them. And for the JDC, we just ranked Taylor first, and that's what we were gonna go with.
And
For, mostly for availability and
Yeah,
for the
availability.
convenience of what we needed.
Local.
Local.
yeah, so that was the reason. They're all good companies.
Yes.
And so we opted to go with Taylor on that. So to have a motion to use them. Wow.
I'll make a motion that we, for the qualified base selection of engineering firms, that we use Taylor Engineering for the juvenile detention center.
I'll second that.
Mark?
Is that for the expansion of the?
Expansion,
Yes.
yes. Adding new offices up there. There's not much remodeling of the existing.
No, they're gonna take a little space there and make office, and in this section, the front wall will be lined out even with 32 highway, and the expansion will be on, basically, it would be the southwest side. You could enter it from, what road is that? Jackson, Old Jackson, yeah.
And apparently there's been a need for a conference room, and that's included in it now.
It'll be about 1,800 square feet addition.
And in the process, you're pulling people out of the living room.
Hope to,
facilities.
yeah, and that'll free up some space out
Gotta
there.
get people off the top of each other
And
that was happening down.
Tentative plans, where they are now, which is pretty good sized space, will move elections up there, give elections more room, and right across from the rooms that they need to be in on election night. And then, hopefully, maybe the commission can move out there to where the elections are now. Hopefully, we don't know that yet. That's way down the road. That's tentative plans. Okay, any other questions? Hey, Bob?
The next process then would be to negotiate a contract with Taylor Engineering and then proceed to come back for approval of that contract?
No.
No?
No,
What is the process at this point then?
Well, we basically already have a contract with them, we just listed the firms and picked them to take this project.
Okay.
okay. I think if you hang on one side, Bob, you'll
Yeah.
get your answer.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion second. Any other questions? All in favor, aye? Aye, thank you. Okay, this is the geothermal work needed for that building. Now, Holcomb is an engineering firm that does geothermal testing. They test the ground underneath it, see if it's gonna support that construction, all of that. And their bill will total about $3,040. Now, if Holcomb bills through Taylor adds an automatic 10% surcharge. You know, they've gotta cash the check, they gotta rewrite the checks, they gotta do it in their books and all that. But if Holcomb bills us directly, we'll save that 10% and possibly another 1% surcharge. So I put on about 11% on that. So, I think it would be important to approve both Taylor and or Holcomb in this, agreement to get this work done. That way we can be billed directly and save that fee. Okay, motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the geothermal engineering work by Holcomb Foundation Engineering Company.
Second?
I'll second.
Question? Bob?
The motion should include the money, shouldn't it?
30, 40, yeah, good point.
And that would be
Uh,
for,
Estimated
Is
at
is that an estimate or is
3,000.
that, yeah, I estimated.
3,000.
it would be for $1,200.
Well,
12,000.
say an estimated 30, 40.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, an estimated of $1,200.
Will
About
not exceed
3,000.
12,000.
Estimated 30, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Estimated at $3,040.
That's your
There you go.
motion.
Okay, that's I would recommend the approval of geothermal engineering work, Holcomb Foundation Engineering for $3,040.
Estimated.
Estimated.
I'll second that.
Second,
Yes.
okay. Now, any questions?
Is this an ARPA project? ARPA funded?
It will be,
Yes.
yeah.
It'll apply.
I think we've already approved the whole JDC for them.
Yes, we've already approved the.
There's so many projects going on, I get kind of confused on which we've done. which
And
we
this is
haven't.
basically the same thing, the airflow, the protection, everything will be built in.
And JDC is growing, and that's a circuit situation, and they send in people that we don't even know who they are. So but we do have to provide space for them, so.
And basically, this will centralize their whole operation, like Harold said. Everybody that comes in will be based right out of there instead of two different departments here.
We've noticed that more and more of the other counties in Circuit 24 are having to send their people to our county. For instance, they're sending their offices to our public defender's office. We had supply space for that. There's a grand total of one person in the circuit clerk's office that is a county employee. She's got maybe 20. All the rest of them are circuit employees. We have to provide space, but we don't even know for sure how many there are. So that happens all the time. So as what I call the destination county in our circuit, we're suffering on that, although it's good in many ways. Our people don't have to travel as far to do the work. Everybody's traveling to us. So anyway,
I know this may be far-fetched, but can other counties put in ARPA money for this project, since it's circuit?
good question, and I haven't even looked at that part yet. But, and we've, which office is it that's just taken Reynolds and Wayne counties? Maybe, public defenders, they're moving, that's District 42, is moving some of their people into 24. Same thing, they just don't have, that's Mark Twain Forest, they don't have a lot of population, a lot of space, they're moving their people in.
And we are the,
Yeah,
Right.
we're the one. So
Well, I know we're required to have that, but I didn't know
Yeah.
If they could chip in and.
if they would.
Now, I know we're charging them office rental
Right.
at that, or I think we've tried to, I don't know if it's been done or not, but we sent that letter. So, because office rental in JD's and public defender's office is based on per capita. So theirs would have been a small percentage, but it would have had dollar effect on it. Mark?
This expansion to JDC, is it based upon current needs, or is there expansion in there built into it for
Future hot and heavy, I think it's coming pretty quick.
but then Mark, the office space they have is like real thin.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
I'm just asking about
Yeah.
you know, are you billed just for what they think they need now?
For their future too.
I think they've gotten the letters. I don't know the dates, but I think they've gotten the letters and the plans. So I don't have them because again, that's circuit. Anyway, okay, do I have a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, this is
seconded.
34th
Yes.
thing. Okay, I have a second. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, I'm out of meeting, and it's, there's the next meeting next week, right here. Other possibilities, anybody have correspondence? Other comments?
I have a question.
Yes, Carol?
Back to the circuit,
Yes.
it obviously has a budget for, that's it, 4 counties in the circuit.
Yeah,
Who oversees that, who develops it, who approves it?
that's state level, destination, what's the word on that I'm talking about? Greg, Sheriff, you got any word on that? Who handles the circuit? Who is, it's in the state level, and that would be judicial.
Well, it's under the Office of Courts Administration.
Judicial, yeah. So someone in that determines
Oscar
all that
tells them what
stuff
to
and
do, that's for
schedules
sure.
all that stuff and distributes the money and, I guess we get it. Who writes the checks for the circuit employees? Do we write those checks? Parks?
We
To
don't.
our employee, no. I
No,
mean,
we don't write the checks for them.
There is
No,
a,
yeah.
the only thing that I'm aware of is we provide the reimbursement for their expenses,
Travel.
mileage.
mileage reimbursement, I mean.
Travel.
But not their payroll.
No.
So that's why they're not on my employee list or anything like that. I don't have a number for them.
To answer Carol's question is the state mandates the budget, and then it is appropriated, divided between the counties, percentage-wise based on population, and we hold, personally, we hold Ace Eckhoff, the juvenile detention supervisor, who works through Judge Horn in providing the expenses.
For that particular division, is that not circuit or the others? Right?
I'm talking about juvenile.
Yeah, juvenile only, but then circuit would probably be Vicky doing that, or somebody in her office.
That's state, I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, we don't get that information.
I just know it gets confusing and, the county still has some expenses here, but,
Yeah, the space.
and I think people may misunderstand, because it's in St. Francis County, they think it's all St. Francis County.
Well,
oversight.
Carol, I think Ace was here one day and talked about that, and he talked about, what them other counties, basically paid for that, and we were the hub, and ours was way greater than theirs, yeah.
Now, in District 24, Circuit District 24, St. Francis County, there's only 4 counties in that. It's St. Francis, St. John, Washington, and Iron. Iron, I think it's 4. Not Iron. Madison. And so of those 4 counties, we are just over 50% of the total population. So when the per capita for the rental of the public defender's building is divided up, we pay 55, 56% of that total. Then the others chip in that other up to 100% of theirs. And that's been changed when the other 2 counties were added. And now, and I think another 2 counties after that's been added. So, they had the mistake of having 3 empty offices out there, so here they come. So,
And then basically their representatives from that county come here to work out of it. That's why these offices, where they can all basically base there. And I think they did Bollinger, and, how many counties were there? 5?
and what?
In that actually come here and works out of it.
Butler, Bollinger,
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Reynolds,
Wayne,
Not,
or what?
yeah, it's not Bollinger,
Not Bollinger, Butler.
but Reynolds, Iron,
Wayne.
Wayne, and there's another one in there somewhere.
And each one of them have an individual office.
Now, what we do is, the auditor's office 2 years ago, and we do it every 2 years, we do a fiscal walkthrough and inventory of juvenile detention, as we do all offices. But they are responsible, ACE puts together the budget, It is approved by Judge Horn, and then it's passed on to the commission in the general revenue budget during the annual budget approval. I don't know if that-
The Weber Road facility is 26,000 square feet divided into 3 wings. Juvenile detention has 3/4 of one of those wings. They are apparently by far the best offices after Brian's remodeling work out there of any of the counties. This is the dream place these people want to work. Brian's group did a wonderful job out there. And we tell them, and I always put in my emails, that our people will only go in your office by invitation or emergency. Now, if there's a light out or a dripping faucet, that's an invitation. If there's smoke coming under the door, we're going in. So that's the phrase I always use to our renters when we do that. But apparently, I know the day that I went to juvenile, or the public defender's office, which is up here at the top of the hill at, Washington Plaza, what's the name of the place?
Liberty
Liberty
Square.
Plaza.
Liberty Square.
It was on the second floor, and the
Washington
carpet
Square.
smelled in the hallway. And I walked in there, and they were piled on top of each other. I went into a guy's office named Wayne Williams, who was then the director of that. And I said, I think I've got some better office space, and that guy became my instant friend. And,
But you're talking about public defender, and she was referring to juvenile detention.
okay, I did mix my stories up there, but I wanted to tell the story. So. But it worked out very well. So,
All right.
Not to confuse the two.
yeah, good point. But yeah. Anyway, any other public comments? Do we answer?
I'm good, I just, wanted to sort it out a little bit.
I got a short meeting here. I got to stretch this out.
You're not mixed up, are you, Gary?
Somebody up here is. Okay. Departmental reports.
No.
Yep.
All right, just a quick update on the work release, road program.
Did I use the right title?
Sure.
Okay.
It's been about a week now that we've implemented this. 1,200 pounds of trash and about 20 miles of road that we cleaned up.
In a week.
In a week. And I'm not talking about tires and washers and dryers. I'm talking about styrofoam cups, trash bags, 1,200 pounds
Did
of
you
trash.
pick up some tires and wash
A
the
few.
machines?
I mean, if it's big stuff, we usually take a piece of equipment out and haul it in the dump truck.
Yeah,
This
if
is
we
all,
have-
this
if
is
we
all
have to
trash
use
that
our
fits.
own men to do that.
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is all
that's
trash
cost.
that goes in a trash bag.
How many pounds?
1,200.
1,200 pounds. Okay.
That's a lot of styrofoam cups and.
That's a lot. 6 tons of styrofoam cups, that's a lot of cups. Yeah. Okay. And Howard Williams is your lead person based on last week's job
Well,
appointment?
yes, but no. We were a little premature. We posted this position to allow for any interested employees that would want to do this work. And when we do that and they sign it and we award it, we give a 30-day period, whether you call it training or development period, whatever, or to see if the employee wants to in fact take this position. Well, after about 3 days into it, this employee decided he did not want to continue to pursue this. We really shouldn't have brought this to the commission until this 30 days was up and the new employee was committed to obtaining it. So that was kind of a mistake on John and I's part. But we
More
did.
on John's part than yours? Or?
Well, probably mine.
Okay.
We try to do everything together, yeah, you can blame me. But we do have a second employee that signed it, Terry Thompson. He is now in his training period. At the end of this 30 days, if he decides he wants to continue to keep this job, then his pay will be up to.
And you're not gonna do an appointment order until?
Not till then,
Okay.
yeah, we were a little premature. So, actually, Terry Thompson is the one that is doing it now. But we have 11 of our employees that were trained at the Department of Corrections that day. So, we have a variety of employees that can go and do it, should he be out or should he not be able to do
In
it.
talking to, I think Judy, she said that there in the class are 20+ people.
Right, MoDOT had a bunch there, I think,
Yeah, everybody has to do
Jefferson,
this every so
Jefferson
often.
County had,
Yeah.
had
yeah, there was, the classroom was full. We had 11 there that day, John and I included, but, so we will come back in 30 days and actually have an appointment for this.
So we've got 20 people, we got a few years to go through 30 days.
Well,
Well,
we'll see.
we ask from the top and force from the bottom.
Yes.
But you guys have a bid process on your jobs, you're different
We do.
than other
Yes.
areas, and they should know there's a difference, that's
There
not
is.
how it works.
There
The
is.
way it works
Outlined in
with
the
your
contract.
guys is the way it works, rates work,
Yes.
so I'm asking, if you guys have that job as a bidded job, is that a bidded job for you?
Yes,
Okay.
it will be.
Can one of your high guys that's been there for a long time have that job if
If
it's?
he wants it. That's what John just said. We asked from the top.
Asked, okay, you did,
and
I'm
forced
sorry.
from the
you
bottom.
did.
So if
Yeah.
nobody
So,
signs the bid, the bottom, the
It's by a
seniority
guy.
person's gonna be
Yes.
doing it.
Okay.
Okay, now, if, the guy takes a job, got 5 years, and then he works it for a while, and then somebody 7 years decides he wants it, can he just bump it?
Nope.
Not if you bid.
Not until bid's open.
Once you have it, it's yours.
Okay.
As long as you want it.
Is this a rotating detainee group?
Not right now.
No.
I know the second day, there was 2, workers that were not doing what they were asked. They were taken back, and they have not.
Taking
been-
back early?
Yes, and they have not been on the cruise since, nor will they ever be back. So, it'll be the same 4 every day.
What would you say, lazy?
Yes.
Yes, it's the same 4 every day, providing something like that doesn't happen.
Okay,
And Department of Corrections is great. We just say one word and they'll never be back.
okay. And,
They're very strict with that.
now that, you can't announce early where you're going,
No.
but can you announce now where they've been?
Yes,
No.
they've been on Berry Road, they've been on Old Bonterra Road, they've been in the Wortham area, Wortham, Mitchell, Davis Crossing, Old 8, Flat River Road,
And Bono.
and Bone
Owl Creek.
Owl.
Owl Creek, I'm sorry. Owl Creek. They cleaned up the Owl Creek area.
Do we supply I mean, ticks?
Yeah.
We do, because we do our tree crew as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
we did.
We give them a list of roads to go complete in a day. We file that with the receipt of the workers.
But
and
not till that day.
Not till
They
that
never
day.
know till that morning. Even our guy don't even know till that.
And then they give a copy of that to the Department of Corrections, so they know where we're at. And then we keep a detailed file of who's worked that day, where they worked, and the landfill tickets.
Okay.
They're actually completing a lot more work than we anticipated they would.
So they kind of exceed their
Yes.
expectations.
They've exceeded our expectations. They
It's
really
a
have.
shame Kevin ain't here today, he'd be loving to hear this.
All the time.
Well, maybe he's listening.
I've asked for the full report, and it's too early today to come up with pictures and all that. But I've asked for a report in the future with pictures of, showing their backs. I don't care.
Yeah, we can't show, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was part of the agreement when
Or
we
even
did
just
the
showing
tree, we
before
can't
and
have
after.
pictures.
Yeah, and I have-
Before they
and I
walk
have
on it and
pictures of
after.
things.
We can, yeah.
Maybe their backs, but,
Yeah.
With, in our 30-day report, like Park said, we'll show you before and after of roads.
Okay.
And give you a detail of how many
Well, I can
pounds.
tell you that before and
What some of
after
the cost was.
Owl Creek is amazing. And I just want you guys to know that I've seen the before and I saw the after, so thank you guys very much.
Yeah, they're doing a wonderful
Yeah,
job.
somewhere we'll have to frequent.
yeah.
You will, you'll be back there, yeah.
Okay. I had a snide comment on that.
No, yeah.
Okay. Any other departmental reports? Yeah, Parks.
I'm gonna be the bad news bearer, but I gotta be down. But these past 2 weeks, we've probably half the bills that we have received. By the time they're getting to us, they're already past due. And I know we talked about this last year, and it's different departments. It's not just one. I'm hoping. This week I just paid a bunch of bills this morning, and I didn't see any of them that were late. But I don't know if it's vacations or what, but we got it. I've talked about this before. You guys know how I feel. That's my name on that check that's being sent, and hey, I don't think it's fair that we're paying this thing as fast as we can, and whose name is that out there? That bill's coming late for me, but it's not in our department. So just remember that if it is yours. But also, I know vacations have been busy right now, and a lot of them are taking. But if we expect our vendors to pay us on time, we cannot have a late bill sent out. We can't.
Okay, now this
To
is
me, it's
credit card,
unacceptable.
this is credit card, right?
This is different. Over half the bills that we send out, we
Every-
pay a lot of them each week, and probably I would say half's a fair number. 50% of them were either past due before we got them, or the day that we were getting them, they were due. I had to go hand drop off multiple ones last week because I told you that before. There's not humor in being late on a bill, especially when we're supposed to be the representative of our county, and that's just how I feel on it. But
I noticed there was at least one case I was notified that the mailing address was wrong from the vendor.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's been straightened out or not, but, there was a complaint filed on that by our people, that they, by the time they were getting it, because of the mail
Should
machine.
be late. I mean,
They
there's
left the
still
initial
some-
date on it. just
And
mail.
that's what I'm not saying, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't wanna, it happens, it just was really strange, the past 2 weeks, how many past due ones we've had. My guess is just the 4th of July, the holiday, the vacation times and everything else, but I
Can
just
we
think we
think
need
of
to be
maybe
prepared.
post office or-
Huh?
Post
I don't
office,
know.
or it'd be
It just
interesting to
was
see
quite a few
the
of them. I
postage
just-
date on it and all
Yeah,
that.
and it might be, but if it is something, if it is vacation, I just think we need to be prepared, somebody needs to take over those dues while somebody else is out, but I just think if we're asking people to pay us on time, we're being, yeah.
Is
we're not
snail
doing our
mail the
part.
best way to do
We
it?
need to make
Is
it-
what?
Is snail mail the best way to do it? Only way to do it?
I think last year we talked about it, it seemed we've been good for, you know, almost a year, we've been back, you know, everything on time, just more bringing that up. And it may be a coincidence, just a 2-week stretch there, but like I said, this morning, I didn't see any of them that were late, so maybe it was just a little 2-week stretch, I just wanted to
Can
bring
I,
that back up.
can I send a blast email to everybody? Would that help?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just a reminder on, I know we all get busy, and like I said, this is a busy vacation time, so.
Well, I would like to add, Mark, in the process of paying bills, and Road and Bridge has quite a few. And it is a pet peeve of ours that we do not want to ever pay late fees. But throughout this process of the requisitioning, the approval, all approval process, it is timed and dated where each person
It is.
approves.
It
So
is. We see it all.
if for some reason we ever have a late fee, we dig back through that and see who is basically responsible for it being held up. If it's John and I's fault, we'll take full responsibility, but I know that is a pet peeve of Road and Bridge and never pay late.
No,
Our approval system consists of 4 different offices, or officers, that have to approve each bill. And so, you know, and it has to be in that order. So, you know, it just goes down that list, and that could add 4 days right there.
But that's all trackable.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is, and we stamp them, and that, like I said, I mean, I can see just looking at where the funnel is getting there, I can see where, you know, I don't wanna do all that, cause I know we're all busy and stuff, this is a reminder of, let's just kind of get that, you know, we get a bill, let's get it moved on, you know.
I'll send out a blast email today on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other departmental reports? Yeah, Dan.
I'd just like to give kudos to my detective unit, the baby that was missing last week.
Yes.
My officers developed information and seen that baby was taken into custody and put back to work, was safe and sound. They done a great job over the weekend.
I don't know how much you can tell us, but was that a custody battle, or what was
It
it?
was I guess you'd call it a parental kidnapping. But there was a court order to take the baby. The mother disappeared. They looked at this for certain days there.
Okay.
But over the weekend, back on Sunday, my detectives worked 24/7, so they got information and come out Sunday evening, got that baby back,
Good.
turned in.
Sorry that, you know, you just break your heart about those disruptions in the family. But apparently the baby was not in health danger. You know,
Well, they thought it could be any.
Could be.
2 to 3 week old baby, and we took it directly to the hospital, and they checked the baby out, and turned over to DFS, so the baby's safe, and that's the main thing.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
I got
Thank you,
one other
Department.
thing, that there was a fundraiser yesterday, and we had a mock jail where several dignitaries were locked up. And I don't wanna mention any names, but Dave Taylor was the last one to get bonded out.
I don't want to say names.
How long was you in there, Dave?
Well, I ended up having to go run and get my money. So they let me go put an ankle bracelet.
He needed
Or
$2 to
some
pick
can.
up 40 people.
And so, I like to talk, you guys may know that, so it took a little while to collect some money, but I
You
got
like to
it.
talk, huh?
I do, and I appreciate all
The
the
best part is when he would call people and
Yeah.
somebody was in jail, they said, well, what'd you do this time?
Yeah.
Well, I
Now
got,
what?
I got one guy on the phone, not mentioning
But his
names,
initials is?
related to parts, his dad, and he thought I was a Dave that was really in jail. And he goes, Dave Gator? Yeah, it was throwing him, so we finally got talked out, and I'll be by his house today.
How many employees does your dad have?
Yeah, but I guess he really gets some calls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I
He
didn't know
said
I'd
it
be
wasn't
calling.
unusual for him to get calls.
To get a call and get him out of jail, sorry. But, yes, it was a nice
Probably had a
fundraiser.
hotline over to the bail office over
It
there.
was New Beginnings, and they do a great job. Durable Medical Equipment goes out to people with no charge, and they do a great job. Sheriff, thank you for your help over there. You did a good job.
Okay, yeah, Clay.
I would like, just on a somber note, I don't think the commission may be aware of this or not, but just like to extend some sympathy to the sheriff. I believe came to my attention, he lost his sister overnight. Is that correct, Sheriff?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Tell us about her.
She's my older sister, only one out of 6 kids. The rest of us all boys, but she's had cancer and been dealing with several months now, but we lost her yesterday evening.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Dan. You didn't know.
And her full name?
Sandra Bullock,
Sandra.
Francis.
Francis. And let us know what the plans are.
Should know that later today.
Okay. Thank you. Send me an email, and I'll send out that email too. Thank you, Dan. And I'm sorry. Any other departmental reports? Greg, good to see you.
See you.
Welcome anytime. And Jamie too, for that matter. We'll extend it to, and, okay.
I think it's funny they finally got Dave in jail and needed to go years ago.
You notice they didn't take me, I probably missed a meeting this morning.
You caused a
They
riot.
bombed me
Wait,
up.
hold on. Is that the next slide at the end?
Well, the next slide is right
Yes,
there.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank y'all.
Okay.